Hi, Chef Rob with Aortic Hope back again to do some more things with potatoes. This is the Aortic Kitchen, and we are preparing potatoes different ways to get ready for Thanksgiving. This chapter is a classic potato recipe that can be done either by itself or underneath a roast. It's really wonderful. It's called potatoes Boulangere, and that means the baker's wife. So these potatoes were done centuries ago when they had a bakery in every village, and on Sunday when the bakery was closed, the ovens were still hot. They didn't fire them, but they were still hot enough because they had to keep them going. Didn't want their fires to go out completely. Everybody took their dishes to the bakery on their way to church, threw them in the baker's oven and let them cook while they were in church. And then when services were over, they came and picked up their dishes and went home. So this is the traditional potato boulangere. It's really only 3-4 ingredients, depending. We have a little bit of olive oil here. That we're going to warm up in our pan, which should be already hot. And some onions. Most of this is done in the oven, obviously, as we're doing what they did in those days. So I have some onions. This is about a half a pound. One, what I call a medium is probably what you might call a large. This size onion right here, I guess that's pretty big. That's an 8-ounce onion, okay? It's actually about 9-10 ounces, but by the time you clean it and trim it, you end up with 8 ounces of onion. So we have 8 ounces of onion that we're going to saute until translucent. I don't want to brown them. We don't need color on these. So we're just going to cook them for a couple of minutes until they are translucent. I'm going to, you can put a little salt and pepper on them at this time if you wish. Just be, little bits. Little salt goes a long way. It also helps to pull the moisture out of the onions when they saute. So you can do that. Or what I like to do sometimes is, instead of salt, I'll use a little bit of sugar. It does the same thing. It's hygroscopic. It pulls moisture out, and I don't do enough to make them sweet, but actually a little sweetness in your onions is not a bad thing. So, see a nice little chef's pinch there, a couple chef's pinches of sugar instead of salt. There's a great way to reduce the salt in your diet, because you're probably going to salt these possibly at the table or later. And we're going to have potatoes, and we're going to want to salt those. All right, so while these finish cooking, I would like the aortic dietitian, Mindy Seltzer, to join me in the aortic kitchen. Come on in, Mindy.
Thank you, dear.
Hi.
You want a potato?
Oh, what kind of potato is that?
This is a yellow potato or a golden potato. They're very waxy.
From where?
Idaho.
Yukon. It's a Yukon
They're
gold.
called Yukons, but they come from everywhere.
You're right. This is what's commonly called a chef's potato. For years we'd order bags of chef's potatoes because they're waxy, but these have that beautiful golden color. See, on the inside, and the skin is also got a nice.
And they're very waxy, so they don't have as much starch in it.
Right. So what about the nutrients in that? Are these good potatoes?
They're good. All potatoes
really
are good. They're very high in potassium. The key is to not overeat them and have them with other healthy foods in your diet. The skin contains most of the vitamin C in the potato, and that does cook out. They're also very high in potassium. So if you're on a diuretic, it's a good thing to eat a potato occasionally.
And when comparing all nutrients, the golds, the Yukon golds, are actually pretty much at the top of the list. They have more nutrients than a sweet potato and fiber, all sorts of good things. They are the top potato.
The queen potato. And purple potatoes and sweet potatoes or baked potatoes, there's not too much difference other than a little bit more vitamin A, a little bit more sweetness, a little more fiber in some of them, but between the sweet potato and the purple potato, there's not much difference. These are probably the big guns.
Yes.
They don't bake well, though.
No, but, they do. Well, let's clarify that.
They don't make a good baked potato.
Right. because they don't, that starchy russet potato is fluffy and flakes away when you want to put in your condiments, your sour cream, butter, all the things we put in there. But these do roast very well. You use these cut, or like the red skins are waxy. These are great around roast. You put them in a pan and add
True.
them.
You
They're
put
really
a whole
fabulous.
chicken in there and
Right,
dice quarter these. You put some onions and carrots.
And they're great for potato salad.
Put them under the chicken, and voila, you have a beautiful roast.
All right, I don't really want to brown these. These onions are just about, they're starting to get a little bit of brown on the edge. We don't want that, because what I'm going to do, I'm turning it off. Now I'm going to add my potatoes. I have 1.5 pounds, 3 of those Yukon Golds that I have sliced. And you just want to toss them in with the onions. Okay.
Let's coat them with a little bit of the oil.
Yes.
Okay.
We're not really cooking them. I just want to get them all mixed in. I could even add maybe a little bit more oil, but we're trying to keep our fat down.
Now, did they layer these potatoes when they made them?
No, this is not that fancy. Okay.
could
not
do
like
that, though.
not like an Anna or anything. I could lay them in there and make circles and all that, but that's not what this dish is about. Because typically, these would be put underneath a roast. You would fill this pan like this with the onions and the potatoes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you would lay your roast right here on top. So you're not really going to see a lot of that layering. Now, Mindy was bugging me and bugging me. Can we put something else in there? Can we put some tomatoes or something? I mean, yeah, you could make it like a roast with, put carrots in there for color and other vitamins and such, but I'm just doing the traditional Boulangere, okay?
And you can put anything in it.
So this is it. I don't need that anymore.
Ouch.
Okay, so.
Didn't break it.
No, and I'm going to season a little bit with some pepper.
What about some herbs? Could you put a little bit of herb in it?
I could put fresh thyme in there, but
We don't have time.
that's up to you. So a little cracked pepper, okay. I'm not going to
Any
salt.
mild herb, right?
We
You
can
don't want to
salt.
do a very
Right.
potent.
And we want to add some stock, anywhere from 3/4 to a cup of stock. I'm using beef stock. Traditionally, this was traditionally done with a lamb roast. So you can use lamb stock or game stock. I'm using beef. You can use chicken. I'm not going to add it all.
Could you use turkey?
Yes, but you wouldn't want to do this under your turkey because it would take too long. This is going in the oven for about an hour, hour and a half until everything's tender. And I'm going to save some of that stock so if it dries out, I can add some more. Okay, so I've put my stock on here.
I'm going to step away.
Okay,
So
good.
that you can open the oven.
Please. And I'm going to grab my potatoes. Make sure that is off.
And when you open an oven door, how far should you open it?
Just enough to stick your arm in.
Open it all the way.
That's all you need. Okay, so those have got to cook for an hour and a half, and we will be back. So we're going to pause for a little bit, and we'll see you in a minute. Okay, everybody. Well, the potatoes are ready. Let's pull them out of the oven while they're nice and hot. I want you to see we'll see how pretty they are. These are gorgeous. There we go. Look at that. These are real potato boulangere. Now, you can have other vegetables in there if you want, but really the traditional is just the potatoes and the onions and the stock. This is just right. It's still moist in the bottom, and we'll taste them in just a second. So I'm going to top them with a little bit of my favorite salt-free seasoning. Yep. Just to give it a little flavor, a little more flavor here. It'll look nice and smell nice.
And Rob, tell me, did you say they were salt-free?
I'm sorry?
Did you say it was salt-free?
Yes, I did say it was salt-free. I made these salt-free earlier. You can zoom out on that now to 1. Got it?
I had to go out further.
Okay, so we've got the product. I'm going to invite the aortic dietitian over here to take a taste, see how we're doing here.
Beautiful.
Aren't they nice? You see? They look really good. They're real moist. I did test them. You can see that the fork or knife goes right through, okay? And you can put this out on the buffet just like this if you're doing Thanksgiving. Again, or for dinner, you know, Friday night, Sunday night dinner, put in here and just throw a chicken on top of there first. That's all seasoned up and put it in the oven for an hour and a half or whatever you want to do. Lamb roast, a pork roast. Thank you. And we will just take some of these out of the pan and put them on.
I love them when you don't do it with any meat on top of it. The nice crispy top on the potatoes.
Yes, I did broil them for a couple of seconds, for about a minute maybe. When they were done, I turned on the broiler and just to make sure I got a nice little more color. So these are one of my favorites. They were on the rotation at the culinary school. And it was one of my favorite days because I just love these potatoes.
Guess what? It's got the skin on it.
Yes, I left the skin on. Now, traditional recipes do call for you to peel the potatoes. But this is the Aortic Kitchen. And there are lots of nutrients in those potato skins. So I leave them on.
And it is delicious.
Mm-hmm. It's a great dish. Thank you. No.
Nice flavor.
Potatoes, onions, stock. I did use a little beef stock for this.
Salt-free.
Of course.
I think we know what our dinner is going to be.
Mm-hmm. I know what my grandson would do with these.
Ketchup.
Yeah, eat them after he poured a bottle of ketchup on top of them. So, you know, what are you going to do?
He's getting his vegetables, according to some president a long time ago.
No, okay. So, potato boulangere. This is the third in our series of potatoes, getting ready for the holidays. So, I want to thank everybody again for joining us on Aortic Hope TV in the Aortic Kitchen. Please be sure to like and subscribe to our channel and follow us along all the time. So, thank you very much. I'm Rob Seltzer, the Aortic Chef.
I'm Mindy Seltzer, the Aortic Dietitian.
Saying thank you for watching.